Welcome to the channel and welcome to 8th edition Warhammer 40k. It's Civil War. It's Adeptus Mechanicus versus the Salamanders. Today is a sad day for the Imperium because we are at war with each other. Forge Father Vulcan Heston is here. He typically ranges ahead of the Salamander forces, going out on his own to try and find some of the artifacts from the Primarch, Lord Vulcan himself. And below this site, Installation 117, he has discovered a link, a clue towards one of the fabled lost artifacts of the Primarch. And he kindly asked all the people who worked here and the Penitent Forge and the Adeptus Mechanicus to clear the site so he could blast holes through from the sky into the ground and start looking for the artifact. And the Adeptus Mechanicus force, who are on bound to defend this site, or the Omnissiah essentially has told them to stay put, are staying put because the Omnissiah has told them to stay put. So they're not moving anywhere. This site cannot be blasted from the orbit. It is holy. It is protected by the aegis of the Omnissiah. So the Adeptus Mechanicus will not shift. So the Salamanders, Vulcan, has called in some reinforcements. And now we are at war. So we are playing a 2,000 point game of cleanse and capture. The Salamanders wish to cleanse and capture this site, and the Adeptus Mechanicus wish to cleanse the Salamanders out of this site and capture it back again. The Adeptus Mechanicus, my army called the Penitent Forge, will be deployed on this battle grid. We're doing Dawn of War deployment. Of course, we put the objectives down before we figured out what we were doing, and there are no objectives in this deployment zone. The Salamanders will be pushing on this table edge into Installation 117. And there are no objectives on this table edge. In fact, all 6 of the objectives, it turns out, are running along the centre. We've got a couple here, one there, one down there, which is rather fitting. We'll be rushing towards each other, trying to secure this installation. 2,000 points. A couple more shout outs. This battle mat's from game... No, it isn't. This one's from Urban Mats. That's Mats with a Z. It'll be in the credits at the end. And this awesome scenery comes from a company called foregrounduk.co.uk. That's 4 with the number 4, not the letter 4. Foreground. And it's laser cut MDF terrain. Basically, you push it out, you glue it together. It comes pre-painted. You just need to assemble it. And it's modular. So you can pull it apart and set it up in lots of different ways, lots of different fashions. I've done a review video on the channel, so you can check that out as well. And when you get down, you can see that line of sight is going to be severely restricted. These ones are blocked out here. Those ones over there are blocked out. We've got the crates on this side, crates on the other side. It's going to be a short-range, brutal game. And one more shout-out. Joining me in the channel today is SorcererDave.
Hey up.
SorcererDave has got your own YouTube channel and Twitch and everything like that.
I have, yeah. That's youtube.com//SorcererDave. And then twitch.tv/SorcererDave as well, I think.
So SorcererDave, 70-odd thousand subscribers, much bigger than me, and on Twitch. But more importantly, SorcererDave is a patron, a supporter of Winters SEO. So thank you very much for coming down and playing against me, and thank you very much for being a patron, helping support the channel as well. So check out SorcererDave on YouTube and on Twitch. Let's go and have a look at these armies. This is 2,000 points worth of Adeptus Mechanicus. It's a single battalion detachment, and leading the charge is the designated command link, the 17th designated command link, D17, aka Belisarius Call. It's a Martian Forge World detachment, so I get 2 canticles of the Omnissiah, and B Call allows you to modify those dice rolls. So you roll 2 dice and you can put them up or down. His Warlord trait, I forget what it's called, but basically his aura ability of re-roll everything is a 9-inch range rather than a 6-inch range, and joining him is a Tech Priest Dominus with no upgrades. And then I wanted a Skitarii heavy list. I figured that the Skitarii, instead of battle servitors, the Skitarii would be manning this installation. Battle servitors can't get up on those railings very well, so we've got lots and lots of troops. There's Rangers and Vanguard all over the place, arc rifles or plasma calibers in each of these squads. They're all 6-man squads, and it's all WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. And we'll focus in on this particular chap here. You'll notice that he's been a bit upgraded with some arms, because this, if you've been watching the channel, is Titan Killer. He is GS01, Godslayer 01, has been blessed with some upgrades from the Omnissiah. His arms won't have any gameplay effect, but he's looking cool. He's on his way to becoming a Tech Priest Dominus, I'm sure. Let's see how he gets on in this game. Although SorcererDave might just blast him away very, very quickly. I would. Because he can kill a Titan. A unit of Infiltrators, unit of Rust Stalkers. Infiltrators with Taser Goads and Flechette Blasters, all the goodness. One unit of Iron Striders, that's what they're called, with the autocannons. One full unit of Sidonian Dragoons there. They're -1 to hit with their incense burners. And then in the heavy slot, we've got Neutron Laser Onika Dune Crawlers, 2 Conqueror Stubbers each, and 3 robots, 3 Castellan robots, with the fists and with the flames. Incendiing combustors, but I don't think the Salamanders are going to mind because they were born of this stuff. So there we have 2,000 points, a battalion detachment, lots and lots and lots of boots on the ground. It's going to be very interesting because apart from the big guns there, this is a very short range army, and the Salamanders are a very short range army, and all the objectives are in the middle of the table. It's probably going to be very, very brutal. Again, this is 2,000 points worth of Salamanders. It's a double battalion detachment. What have we got here, SorcererDave?
We've got...
Who's the Warlord?
The Warlord today is Vulcan Heastan at the front there.
Nice.
It could only be him, really. He's the only one with the authority to command all this lot to come and help him out anyway. So
yeah.
He's here looking for the artifacts. So he's brought with him the nearest group of Salamanders he could find. So we've got Captain Sufet there.
Okay.
Along with a lieutenant and a librarian, along with 6 5-man tactical squads.
Yep.
6 Terminators with the hammers and shields.
Yep.
And a pair of Land Raider Redeemers, because if you're going to play Salamanders,
yes,
why would you bring any other type of Land Raider?
Yes.
Ultimately.
And it's all WYSIWYG, right? So Melters and Flamers spread throughout here.
Yeah.
So very good, typical narrative, fluffy Salamander list, because all Salamander units within 6-inch range of Vulcan can reroll all hits and all wounds with Flamers and Melter weapons, right?
Yep.
Including the Redeemers with their Flamestorm cannons. And then you've got the Salamander Chapter Tactics, which the squads that are out of range of him can reroll to hit and reroll to wound 1 gun.
Yeah, it's kind of...
And then you've got reroll to hits and reroll to wounds with the Captains and Lieutenant combo here. So lots of rerolling.
So it's a bit of an underrated tactic, I think. A lot of people go for the Raven Guard and the Ultramarines, but when you think about it, it's you get to re-roll 1 missile launcher or multi-melter or las cannon in every squad.
I think it's very powerful. How many times do people spend a command point on a re-roll?
Exactly.
Yeah, rolling a hit or rolling a wound. And you've got rolling the hits and rolling a wound every single turn. So it's going to be very, very interesting. It's a highly elite, highly short-range force. I don't think you've got any weaponry here that is over 24-inch range.
Nope. Well, I've got a missile launcher.
Is there? Where's the missile launcher?
Just at the back there.
There's 1 missile launcher there. Excellent.
He ran out of multi-melters. He drew the short straw, I think.
Yeah. All the other brothers in the armies took the melters first. I like it. So it's a very narrative list versus a very narrative Skitarii list. This is going to be good. Will Vulcan Heastan be able to push the Penitent Forge back out of this installation and claim it so he can look for this artifact? Or will they be repelled by the might of the Omnissiah? Let's go on to deployment. And we're deployed for this battle for installation 117, 2,000 points worth of Salamanders versus Adeptus Mechanicus. We have 6 Terminators in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then 2 squads of 5 Tactical Marines in this one with the Captain and Lieutenant combo. And Vulcan and the Libby is down here. Another squad, another couple of squads. All very simple. Ready to push forward. There is an objective right there that the Salamanders can take. All right there that potentially they could take in turn 1. Another point of note, there is no cover on this board. There are no ruins, there is no trees, no craters, nothing like that. There is no cover anywhere across this board apart from the line of sight blocking shenanigans in the way. So yeah, if the Salamanders are shooting at someone on top of one of these installation points, they can definitely tell between a railing and the heat signature of a Skitarii Vanguard behind. The advanced targeting tech will not be fooled. Another thing to note, we're playing 3 inches up. So if you're here and you want to get up, it's 3 inches up a level. There are ladders and railings and places where the infantry can climb all over the place. Vehicles will not be allowed on the 2nd floor or the 3rd floor of installation 117. And as you can see, there are 2 nice big holes for the Salamanders to push through to deliver the Emperor's justice. And so the Penitent Forge, the Adeptus Mechanicus, have spread out all the way across the line, because I figured if I was in one big blob in the middle, I would be dead, because that would be just one big target for the Salamanders to come charging to. D17 is here with its fire base, bit of screen, and I've got the Iron Striders, Dragoons on this side and some redundancy on this side. And so I put the robots on that side and some redundancy on that side. Should mention he's got the Auto Carduceus of Ark and Land, which allows him to re-roll when he's healing vehicles. And you got the what on the what?
The Salamander's mantle on the captain.
Who's inside that one there?
There, yes.
And what does that do, that relic?
Basically just gives him +1 strength. I mean, toughness.
+1 toughness, so toughness 5 Salamander. I like it. So we are deployed. We are ready to go. The Salamanders are sweeping towards to cleanse and capture, and the Omnissiah, the forces of the Omnissiah, are hoping to repel them. Right, even though this is an old Maelstrom of War game, we're going to use the chapter approved rules, which means we roll off, and you deployed way before me, so you get +1 to this dice roll. So I'll chuck a dice first, just for tension. And you can't command point this, so I get a 4, and you get a 1. A 1 + 1 is 2, so actually the Penitent Forge will go first, unless you want to try and steal from me, and stealing's bad.
I will definitely try and steal from you. You've got one of our artifacts. We've thrown all our morality out the window.
There might be an artifact under here. We built an installation on top of it. We're sorry we did that. Don't want to go to war with you.
That's not what these guys think at the minute.
No.
They're normally very friendly, the Salamanders.
They are, actually.
Sit down with a cup of tea. But as soon as their artifacts get involved, they get very angry indeed.
They're about as good guys get in the worlds of Warhammer 40k. So let's see if you can steal the initiative. Let's roll a dice. And you hit the floor.
First of many, I'm sure. No.
3. No. So the Penitent Forge do beat you to the drop, are rushing towards this installation first, are set up first. And you know what? I don't really know if I want to come close to your guns, because you've got a short range army. Anyway, let's go on to Penitent Forge. Turn 1. The Penitent Forge have been ordered to sweep into the installation, secure 4, secure 6, and hold the line, which you can't score in turn 1. Okay, here we are after the movement phase for the Penitent Forge. I'm holding the line, but you can't score that yet. And there's objective 4, and here is objective 6. Come on, camera. There's objective 6. Now, I could have come forward with my Iron Striders, Dragoons. They moved 10. They would have ended up here. And it would have been a 5-inch advance to get within 3 inches of that objective. Now, there's also a stratagem I could use for a command point. It's called Dune Striders, and you roll 2d6 when you advance and add them both together. And I would have only needed to 5 to get to objective 6 within 3 inches of it. However, that would have put me in range of all the flamestorm cannons, the assault cannons from this thing, and there's 6 Hammonators in there. And when they get out, because they get out 3 inches, then move 5, they'll be here. And then they would charge my Iron Striders and kill them utterly after getting flamed and assault cannoned. And then I'd have had some Terminators already up this part of the battle grid over halfway. And I didn't want 6 Hammonators halfway up the battlefield in turn 1. I have stayed tactical, I shall say, not cowardly. Stayed tactical and stayed back. So the Rangers have advanced. I'm only going to get a point for that one. You can see the different screens of advancing going on here. They advanced, they didn't, they stood still. The Rustalk is advancing up and into the installation already, and there's a unit out on the wings. So I'm pretty spread out. I haven't got much shooting in range except for the castle here. There are a couple of arc rifles. We'll pop them at the Land Raiders first, and then we'll get onto the big guns. Oh, and one more thing. With Canticles of the Omnissiah and being able to modify the dice roll because of D17, Shroud's Arm is in effect, +1 to all my armor saves, and also Incantation of the Iron Soul rippling across the Noosphere. I will be re-rolling any failed morale tests. So a couple of arc rifles firing at the Land Raider did nothing, and now we get down to the the castle down here, and look, This one on this side can see that Land Raider, but not that one. And this one here can see that Land Raider, but not that one. It would have been much better to put both of the onagers into one of the Land Raiders and hopefully take it out. But because of deployment, you go, I go deployment, it hasn't really worked out that way. So one neutron laser into that Land Raider there, and then we'll do the other one over here. Neutron laser has D3 shots, 2 shots. I'm hitting on 3s. And it's strength 10, toughness 8, wounding on 3s. They both wound. -4 AP, so you get 2 6-up saves. 2 6-up saves, both fail, and this does D6 damage, minimum 3. Wow. 10 damage straight off the bat. But fortunately for you, I can't put any more neutron lasers into it. It will survive. I think they start with 16, right?
Yes.
It's got 6 left. And now we're going to do the other one into this one here. Number of shots, just 1 this time. Hitting on a 3. Misses. Rerolling because of Belisarius Cool, aka D17. Hits. Strength 10, toughness 8, wounds. You have another 6-up save, sir, on this Land Raider. And this time that's a fail, and this does D6 damage, minimum 3. 6 damage, 6. So this one's down to 10, that one's down to 6. Then the Cognis shots fired in at the Land Raiders as well, doing no damage. Right, down to the 2 Iron Striders. This Iron Strider here can't see either of the Land Raiders. So it's going to fire at that squad there. It's a twin autocannon heavy 4, didn't move, so I hit on 3s. And I reroll because it designates 17. They all hit. It's strength 7, so I wound on 3s. 2 4-up saves. And make them both, no problem. The skulls are passes, yeah?
Yep.
And then the other Iron Strider here, firing through underneath the railings, in on that Land Raider, trying to finish it off because this is a damage 2 weapon. I hit on 3s. And re-roll. Okay, 3 hits this time. It is strength 7, toughness 8, so I need 5s to wound. No wounds at all. And that's the end of my shooting phase. That's the end of the everything phase. Everything else is out of range, out of line of sight, or advanced. So the first shots ring out in anger as Penitent Forge. Advance installation 117. The Salamanders weather the fire. The Land Raiders are shaken, but still grumbling forward. I score 1 point for that, for securing objective 4. Now let's go on to the Astartes, turn 1. Here are the orders for the Salamanders, and they're perfect. Advance, get out of their deployment zone, get a point. Kill as much stuff on the way, no prisoners, and get into the enemy deployment zone behind enemy lines. Now, getting behind enemy lines in turn 1 isn't going to happen, but killing stuff and getting every unit out of their deployment zone should be quite simple. And remember, first blood is still up for grabs. Here we are after the Salamander's movement phase. The Land Raider on this side decided to swing over here because it's got the Hammonators in, which is why I put the robots on this flank. He wants to smash them with his hammers. He could have driven up through this gap here, but he would have been a turn or 2 away from the robots, the Castellan robots. And this is essentially the only close combat thing in my army, the only thing that will present a threat to all these troops coming forward in a close combat phase, in a fight phase. Everything else is pretty much shooty. So coming this way and this way only. Hasn't advanced out of his deployment zone yet. Remember, this Land Raider is crippled. It's down to ballistic skill 4 and a movement value of 5 at the moment. But everything has got out of it. You can see the captain there, the lieutenant got out of it. He's behind as well. That squad got out. This squad up here on the gantry got out and advanced and has come all the way along closer to the center of the board. The squad behind was with Vulcan, and Vulcan and his Psyker are down here going through that gap there. So the Salamanders moving forward haven't advanced out of their deployment zone yet, but that's going to be a surefire point next turn, just like my hold the line will be a surefire point next turn. Instead, they want to try and make the Admech bleed. Then in the Psychic phase, the Librarian has Might of Heroes and Null Zone. Might of Heroes failed against that Land Raider there. That's the Psychic phase over. Now we're on to the shooting phase, looking for no prisoners, looking to score first blood. Right, a missile from this squad here streaking across into the robots, and the bolt guns going into this squad here. The missile's sitting on a 4 because it's heavy, and you moved. And that misses.
2, and I'm going to use my Salamander's reroll immediately because it was a 2 and not a 4 or a 3.
Yes, yeah. Reroll natural fails. Any one miss and any one wound. And no, that missile launcher misses. And how many bolters have you got there?
5, including the one with the sergeant. So.
Okay. So these hit on 3s. And they all hit. And they wound on 3s. Strength 4, toughness 3. So wounding on 3s. And in the end, getting 4 wounds there. That's pretty good. I have Shroud, so I'm in effect. So my 4 up becomes a 3 up. And a 1 in this squad, it gets wiped out. Then after this squad fired, that squad down here fired along with a lieutenant, and look, there's only 3 left in this squad. They also took some firepower from this squad here, the ones that I can see, and there is a combi plasma and a multi-melter left to fire, and they are targeting the Castellan robot. So what are you firing first, sir?
I'll go with the multi-melter first.
Okay, multi-misser. Hitting on a 4 because you moved. And that's a hit. Strength 8, toughness 7. So it is 3s to wound. And that is a wound. It's minus a lot. I have the Aegis protocol in place, so I have a 4 up and vulnerable save, which I make, I'm afraid. And then the plasma coming at this squad as well.
Yep.
Do you want to overcharge it? You might as well, because you haven't used any of your rerolls yet.
Haven't used the Salamander reroll, so
okay.
I will attempt to use that to save his life.
Yep, 3s to hit. That's a hit. It's strength 8, toughness 7. And that isn't a wound, but you can reroll a wound once.
I can, yep.
And that is a wound. Strength 8, toughness 7, minus 3 AP, so 4 up and run again, which I fail, and because you're overcharged, that's 2 damage, taking one of these robots from 6 to 4. Right, over onto this squad here, the squad at the back, there is a combi plasma multi-misser and 3 bolt guns. The bolt guns can see and are firing down here, and the plasma and the multi-melter into the Castellan robots one more time. So what are we firing first?
Multi-misser.
Multi-misser, okay. Hitting on a 4 because you moved and it's a heavy gun. And that misses. Right. You can reroll hit rolls. It's a melter.
Yeah.
And Vulcan's right below him.
He's right underneath.
So you can reroll everything because of Vulcan. And that misses as well.
Never mind.
Combi plasma overcharging?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Vulcan also has the standard captain bubble as well.
He does, yeah.
This guy's down there too.
Yeah. So that's
it's a 1.
It's a 1 with a reroll because of the captain bubble. That's a hit. Good stuff. Strength 8, toughness 7, 3s to wound. And that's a wound. I have a 4 up and run again. And I make it this time. So the plasma detonates off the Aegis armor, and now we've got 3 bolt gun shots coming into these guys here. You haven't used any of your Salamander rerolls, just the Captain Bubble rerolls. So 3s to hit, rerolling 1s for Vulcan, and rerolling a dice because you're Salamanders. I like it, how that works, it's good. And it's strength 4, toughness 3. And they both wound. And I have 3 up saves because of Shroud Sun. And I fail both of them, leaving 1 guy left. You've killed 6 in that squad. I have got Incantation of the Iron Soul, but my leadership is 7. So if I roll a 1, I pass. If I roll a 2 up, that guy will run away. So I'm going to need to spend 2 command points to keep him around, or just roll a 1. It's very interesting, because I don't know if there's any more firepower coming in on that squad there. He really wants this guy dead for no prisoners and first blood. Doesn't want to fire the Land Raider at him. So there's a squad on the bridge. There's 5 guys on the bridge. There's a melter, combi melter in that squad. But the 3 guys with bolt guns can draw line of sight through and down onto this alpha. So trying to wipe him out. Hitting on 3s with these bolt guns. And re-rolling 1s because you're in range of the captain. No, just 2 hits. 3s to wound. And they both wound. 2 3-up saves. And I fail 1, do I want to start command pointing to keep him alive? No, I think he's going to, if I just spend a command point to keep him alive, you're going to hose him down with that anyway. But then that stops you hosing down the robots. Nope, need to keep the command point in my pocket for the robots, so that is first blood, and that is no prisoners. Mind you, if you kill 3 things, that'd be D3 points. Okay, now the Land Raiders are opening fire. This injured Land Raider firing at the Rust Stalkers with his twin assault cannon. Of course, the Flamestorm cannon's at range. Hitting on 4s because he's wounded. Yep. And then re-rolling 1s because there's 2 captains very close by. Okay, with the re-rolls, that was 8 hits. Now strength 6, toughness 3, winning on 2s. And you're re-rolling 1s because you're right next to a lieutenant. So in the end, that's 8 wounds. May I touch your dice, sir?
You may.
Right, it's minus 1 AP because it's an assault cannon, but I've got plus 1 AP because of Shroud Psalm. So these are all 4-up saves. And wow. 1, 2 and a half. 2.5 Ruststalkers get cut down. So Ruststalkers have 2 wounds each, that's what it looks like. And now the second Land Raider firing down at the Castellan robots. All guns coming in. Multi-misser hitting first. With Power of the Machine Spirit, you're hitting on a 3 still. And you re-roll that because you're right next to Vulcan. And that's a hit. Strength 8, toughness 7 on the robot. And that's a wound. Minus 4 AP, 4 up and vulnerable save. Which I fail. Right. I kept a command point in my pocket for this purpose only because one of them is on 4 wounds left. So I am going to choose to re-roll this one. And I fail it again. You do get through. This does D6 damage and it costs me a command point. So how much damage? 2. And you have a command point you could spend if you want to.
I absolutely will because I'm so.
Okay. Spending a command point each. 2 becomes a 1. And now 12 assault cannon shots raining in. Hitting on 3s because of Power Machine Spirit. Rerolling 1s because you stood right next to Vulcan. And you can reroll that 2 with your Salamanders rule, any 1 dice. Okay. Strength 6, toughness 5. This is toughness 7, sorry. This is the hard bit. Wounding on 5s. And how did you get there? That's 3, right?
Yeah.
So you get 3. Now it is minus 1 because it's an assault cannon, but I've got plus 1 with Shroud Sum. So 3 2-up saves.
I also have the Salamanders reroll the wound and the 1 because of the lieutenant.
Okay, yeah, so go for it. So the 1 because of the lieutenant and, yeah. Oh, you get another 1. Nice. So 4 2-up saves. 1 minute. I failed 2. And this one was on 3 wounds left. He's still alive on 1 wound left. That multi-melter reroll. Otherwise, he would have been dead. 1 minute, SorcererDave. What did you just say about the multi-melter?
The multi-melter extremely underperformed and the assault cannon overperformed way more than I thought it was possible.
Yes, I think Vulcan will have words with that gunner. And that's the end of turn 1. That's the end of your turn 1. You did score overwhelming firepower because you did annihilate something in the shooting phase. These guys have a morale test. Their leadership's 7. And a 4 plus 2 is 6. They pass. You haven't advanced. You're not behind enemy lines yet. But it is 2 points to 1 in favour of the Astartes as we go on to turn 2. So I told High Command I would not secure Objective 6 because there's some Hammonators nearby, and instead I've been ordered to hold the line and secure Objective 5, both of which I can do, both of which are easy. And overwhelming firepower just blow away some of the Astartes. A chance to score many points here. However, with Canticles of the Omnissiah, I did not get Shroud Psalm. I rolled a double 6. So I've got plus 1 to my strength and reroll failed to hit rolls of 1 in the shooting phase. No Shroud Psalm. So while I can get a bunch of points, the pushback from the Salamanders might be painful. So here we are after the movement phase, and the Penitent Forge are securing Objective 5. That's here. And the Rangers have got shots through at that squad of Salamanders down there. And I am holding the line, keeping 3 units in my deployment zone. So that's 2 points. Now with overwhelming firepower, all I need to do is shoot stuff. So unit moving forward, unit staying still, shots down. This squad advanced. It was over here and it's ran all the way up to put a bit of a screen between me and the robots. The idea being, I would rather charge the Salamanders rather than the Salamanders charge me. So if 1 or 2 of them survive, that's a bit of a screen, and he's going to have to waste firepower in at a squad of Vanguard to clear that gap there. The Ruststalkers putting some solid metal between themselves and the rest of the Salamander force, and a bit of bait coming around this right flank here. Infiltrators still in my pocket for now. The Infiltrators are still infiltrated. They're still hidden somewhere on this battle grid, ready to spring their deadly trap. There's no need, no choice targets at the moment, so I didn't want them to pop out yet. And it's about to get very brutal. The Penitent Forge are halfway into installation 117. The Infiltrators need to stay hidden and see what happens after the smoke clears. Okay, so now let's shoot some guns. Right, starting on the right flank. The only thing that these guys can fire at is that group of Salamanders down there. So there's 10 Rangers, rapid firing, hitting on 3s. And re-rolling 1s. Wow, everything hit. Didn't even need to re-roll any 1s. This is strength 4, toughness 4, any 6s are AP -1. And there's 1 at -1. And that many normal saves. So 6 normal saves, 1 at -1, sir. 6 3-up saves. Ooh, 3 Space Marines fall, and 1 at -1, 1 4-up save. Oh no, 4 Brave Astartes get cut down. Right, 1 Salamander remaining. And from that squad there's only 3 that can see, because when I set up the table, look, there's some barrels underneath that strut there. Just 3 firing in. These hit on 3s. And I'm re-rolling 1s because of the canticles. And they are strength 3, assault 3 weapons. So 5s to wound. And that is 4 wounds at AP dash. 6s do 2 damage, but it's a 1 wound model anyway. So 4 3-up saves.
Here we go. Vulcan lives, brother.
Vulcan lives.
No, he doesn't.
Vulcan may live, but that guy isn't. Vulcan Lives, such an awesome book from the Black Library there. One of my favourites. This squad here, they did us advance, but they've got assault weapons are going to shoot at them. They're the only thing, actually. The range of the Incendiing Combustors is 12 inches, so they can flame them, and if I annihilate them, then the Incendiing Combustors aren't hitting anything else. So instead, let's fire their Assault 3 weapons up at these guys on the balcony. I've got this number of dice. It's 4s though, because because I ran, and I'm rolling 1s. Like that. 8 hits, strength 3, toughness 5, and oh my word, that's 7 wounds. I'm sorry, 7 wounds.
You're not really sorry though, are you?
Well, okay, 3-up saves. Sorry, not sorry. How many die? 3 die. No, just 2.
Just
3.
2.
No, 3. It's
Yeah,
3.
3.
It's 3. From that squad to this squad, the Plasma Caliber is the only thing in range. I am overcharging because I will be re-rolling 1s. Actually, there's no... Yes, let's overcharge. Firing across at that squad there. It's a 2-shot weapon hitting on 3s. Yay. Because I overcharged at strength 8, so I'll be wounding on 2s. 2 wounds on that squad at -3 AP, sir. So 2 6-up saves. And you make 1, so only 1 gets wiped. And then over here, we are on to GS01 Titan Killer. We'll finally have a go. And he's going to target that Land Raider. He will hit on 3s. And he will wound on 5s. Of course he wounds. -1 AP on the Land Raider. That's a 3-up save. 2 up to a 3-up. What did it do?
Just enough.
And that was a pass. The ceramite plating holding firm. But his shot was true. I like it. Volkite Blaster on my... Dominus, that's the one. He's going to fire at this squad up here. There's 2 left. It's a heavy gun, 3 shots. So instead of hitting on 2s, he's hitting on 3s. And he's not re-rolling anything. It's strength 6, but any 6s cause a mortal wound. No mortal wounds. And 2 normal 3-up saves on this squad with 2 guys remaining, sir. And they pass. The Volkite Blaster just smashing off of them. I think we're running out of small arms. No, we've got this squad here. So there is an arc rifle in that squad. It will fire at the Land Raider, and the remaining small arms will go into this squad here. Let's do the arc rifle. 3s to hit, re-rolling 1s because of mechanical, and 5s to wound. That is a wound. The SM Battle Report logo is a 6. So -1 save on the Land Raider. And you roll a 1. This will do D3 damage because it's an arc weapon. Unless you want to...
Yes, I'll command point that because I've still got loads mounted to them. So
3 up, 2 up to a 3 up. And it passes. The arc light weaponry doesn't... The electricity flickers over it, but it stands firm. Right, now we've got a lot of shots coming in. 3 times 5. Right. A lot of shots coming in from my radium carbines, re-rolling 1s because of the canticle. 10 hits from that squad, but 5s to wound. Again, I don't know what's up with my dice rolling. You watch the channel, right? You know that I roll bad all the time. All the time, but not today. When you turn up, that's 7 wounds, I'm afraid, at a 3-up save. 7 3-up saves. And you pass 2 of them. Only 2 Brave Astartes in this squad get wiped out. And that's it for my small arms. And I've nibbled away quite a few Astartes here and there. Now onto the bigger guns in the back. The first Onager Dunecrawler, 6 Cognish shots went into the squad of Tactical Marines and they took it. And now the neutron laser firing in at the injured Land Raider. How many shots? 2 shots. I'm hitting on 3s. They both hit strength 10, wounding on 3s, and they both wound. It's minus 4 AP. You need 2 6s to save, because you normally have a 2-up save. No. And it does a minimum 3 damage, and it had 6 wounds left. Mm-hmm. So, because, yeah, the 1 becomes a 3, so that's 6 damage. It's dead. First Land Raider is down. Does it explode?
No.
It does not explode in your lines. Which means the other Onager Dunecrawler can't see the other Land Raider. He could see that one, but there's no shots through there. So it looks like I'm firing in a neutron laser, a normal Space Marine, and some Cognish shots. So I've killed 2 squads. There was that one there and the Land Raider. It turns out that this thing can see up and through into this squad on the bridge there, through all the scaffolding, the support frames, the gubbins. Gubbins is a good word. At this 2-man squad here. So let's fire the neutron laser, because if I kill 3 things in the shooting phase with overwhelming firepower, it'd be D3 points. So neutron laser, 1 shot. Hits on A3, kills on A2, and it doesn't do anything. The neutron laser flashes over his head. I guess he just ducked and cover. Well done. 6 shots with the Cognis, and re-rolling because I've got dual heavy Cognis on there. So 5 hits, strength 4, toughness 4, wounding on 4s, 2 wounds. Just 2 wounds on this squad, 2 3-up saves, and you make both of the saves there. Wow, okay. 1 neutron laser knocks out a Land Raider, the other one can't even kill a Space Marine. Need to get these 3 units killed though. Haven't fired the Flamers, but there is the Iron Striders. So one of the Iron Striders firing up to them on the railing. Can I see him? Oh yeah. Oh yes, can see him. 3s to hit. Re-rolling because of D17. Strength 7. 3s to wound. 3 wounds at -1, so 3 4-up saves for these 2 brave lads. And they fall.
They're toast.
And that's 3 squads killed. Now the last Iron Strider will fire at this squad down here. 3s to hit with the reroll, and 3s to wound. 3 wounds on this squad here, sir. And they pass. And that's pretty much it for the shooting phase, except for the Incendium Combustors on the squad of robots. So they are D6 shots each. Oh, I just remembered something. At the end of my movement phase, I wanted to heal that one. I forgot to do it.
Oh, go for it.
Will you let me heal him? And it's D6. That's 1, but he's got the Auto Carduceus of Ark and Land, so he gets to re-roll that. No, so he just heals 1 on him, back up to 2. Okay, now I will fire the Incendium Combustors at them. And it's D6 shots each. And that's 7 shots. Incendium Combustors are strength 5, so 3s to wound. And that's 5 wounds at -1 AP on that squad of 4. 5 4-up saves. Oh, your dice roll has been shocking. My dice rolling has been good. 3 of them fall. That's the end of the shooting phase. This is the only morale you need to take. 4 + 4 is 8. You pass. If that's the sergeant.
That is not the sergeant.
Okay, re-roll with them. They shall know no fear. And you're fine. And that's the end of my shooting phase. And it was pretty successful. I've annihilated a number of brave Astartes. And I've got hold the line. And I'm securing objective 5. And I get D3 points for overwhelming firepower, which is 2. So that's 4 points earned in that turn. You were on 2, I was on 1. It is 5 points to 2 for the Penitent Forge, but it is a long way from over. I haven't got Shroud Psalm in effect. The Librarian can get into smite range now. The Hammer-Eaters can come piling out of that other Land Raider, which is still at full ballistic skill, has not been injured yet. It's a long way from over as we go to Salamanders, turn 2. Behind enemy lines ditch. So these are the orders for the Salamanders. Advance. That's going to be easy. Get out of their deployment zone. Get mission critical objective number 3. That's going to be easy. They stood quite close to it. And assassinate. Kill a character. There's only a couple of characters in my list. That one's a bit more tricky. Here we are after the Salamanders movement phase. They have advanced outside of their deployment zone and they are scoring mission critical objective 3. There is a unit of guys here. So that's 2 points, and the multi-melter in that squad, or the missile launcher, sorry, in that squad has stayed still. And when we look at the rest of the battle grid, the entire Salamander force is now here. They mean to push through the Penitent Forge's lines with some aggression. This is going to be a beautiful thing. This is going to work, or it's not going to work. This is the fulcrum around which this battle will descend. The Hammernet is getting out of the Land Raider before it moved forward. They're all here. There's Vulcan. There's the captain. The lieutenant's in there as well. The Melter, though there was a squad of 5 there. The Melter moved forward. He's within Melter range of one of these robots. The Flamers are in range of both the Vanguard and the robots. There's a lot of firepower coming down to this corner of the battle grid. If SorcererDave manages to clear away that bit there, then I'll have my castle and I'll have this flank, but he will have a significant presence in the middle of the table there. As I said, this fight is not over yet. Let's go on to the psychic phase. Librarian casting Might of Heroes on this captain here. And it's a 6, that's a pass, I have no chance to deny it. It gives him an extra attack, an extra strength, an extra toughness. He's now up to toughness 6. What else? There's no point doing null zone because it's a 6-inch range, so you might as well smite. Smite's warp charge value of 5, and that passes, and I can't deny it. And D3 damage. And what was that? Just the 1.
Unless... Command point.
Command point. Okay, command point in the psychic phase. Yeah, 1 becomes 1s.
It's a 4.
And that was a 4. 2 Vanguard fall. Right, opening up the shooting phase, we've got this squad here. The multi-missile going in against the Castellan robots and the combi plasma. And the other shots going in at the Scutari. So, firing the Melter. And that's a 2. And you can...
Salamanders time.
Salamanders, you can re-roll that. And that's a 2. You're going to overcharge the combi. That unit is within 6-inch range of Vulcan. Yep. Okay, overcharging.
And it's a hit.
I think you might have 2 shots. Yep, another shot. Both hit. Strength 8, toughness 7. So 3's to wound. And they both wound. 4 up invulnerable save. And make them both. And now we've got 3 or 6 rapid fire and bolt guns going into the Vanguard, stood right in front, trying to clear a way through to the Castellan robots. 3's to hit. And rerolling 1s. And there are no 1s. 3's to wound. That was 2 hits, rerolling 1s because you're in range of the lieutenant. Right, okay, 4 wounds this time. It would be it's 4 up because I don't have shrouds on. 2 of them die, leaving 2 left. Next up, Vulcan, who advanced. Here he is. He advanced all the way around there. Cost him a command point to do it. His 8-inch Gauntlet of the Forge is now going to splash out into this Vanguard squad. It's an assault weapon, so D6. You can advance and fire it. Ooh, 5 hits. And strength 5, toughness 3. You're wounding on 3s. And you're re-rolling everything because it's a flame weapon and he's in range of himself. That's 4 wounds. It's -1. So 4 5-up saves, and Vulcan clears away the last of the Vanguard on his own, leaving the rest of the army free to shoot at the targets behind. Right, now this guy, the last remaining Melter carrier, firing at the Castellan robots here. His squad mates got wiped out around him, but can he hit? Hitting on a 3. And he does hit. Strength 8, toughness 7. It does wound. 4 up invulnerable save. No, it gets through. And you are in melt range. You're in 6-inch. You're in half range. So you roll 2d6, pick the highest. Oh, and that's a 6.
6, please, yeah.
And the first robot goes down. They have 6 wounds each, but that guy only had 2 left. Wounds don't spill over. And these guys explode. I don't want them exploding in my lines. He doesn't explode. What a hero, after seeing his squad mates around him die, enacting sweet revenge. Now up here, this squad fired their bolters at the robots as well, and now we have a multi-melter and a combi plasma coming in at these robots. What are we firing first?
Multi-melter.
Multi-melter, hitting on a 3. This guy stood still, the guys around him shuffled. So he hits, yeah, that's a hit, and he wounds on a 3. It doesn't wound, but you can re-roll.
I think I will.
Because of Salamander chapter tactics. Okay, I've got a 4-up invulnerable save on these robots. And I fail it. This will do d6 damage. They have 6 wounds in total. 3.
Yeah.
Taking one of these down to half strength. And now you have a combi plasma firing at the robots as well. So 1 shot. Are you overcharging? You are in 6 inch range.
I'm going to.
Okay, yep. Hitting on a 3. That's a hit. Oh, that's a miss. Sorry, yeah. That's a miss.
And they already used the salamander thing, didn't they? So.
Yep. So that squad is now fired. Then after that squad, we have this squad here. The 2 rapid-firing bolt guns unloaded onto the Vanguard, did nothing. And the missile launcher shot across through the gantries and smashed into one of these robots, wounding it. I need a 4-up and run. And I make it, and on a 6, it bounces back with a reflector field, causing a mortal wound on that squad.
Oh dear.
So in the end, the missile launcher takes out one of the guys right in front of him. Maybe he fired a dud, maybe it exploded in the barrel. I think that's it for shots, except for the Land Raider now. Right, before the Land Raider fired, there was a lieutenant and a librarian firing in at this squad here, and didn't do anything. Now this captain is overcharging his plasma pistol and firing at the Castellan robots. He hits on a 2, though. What could possibly go wrong?
What indeed?
That's a hit. And it's, it's strength 8, wounding on a 2, wounding on a 3, wounding on a 3. And that does wound. Will this shot bounce back, though? No, it doesn't. And it does get through, and it does do 2 damage, putting this robot down to 1 wound remaining. He knew what he was doing, this Astartes captain. He is the veteran of 100 wars. He has tread on 1,000 different planets. Now the Land Raider firing the multi-melter at the Castellan robots, and the assault cannon is actually, can see these rust stalkers up here, so he's going to spray this balcony with lead. But first, the multi-melter firing away. And it hits, and it will wound on a 3. And it wounds, and I need a 4-up save, which I don't make. It will do d6 damage. This one's on 1 wound left, so you do kill a second robot. Wounds don't spill over, and does it blow up? It doesn't blow up. 2 robots taken out. Perfect shot by the gunner this time. Maybe they're sick of Vulcan yelling at them after last turn. And now this balcony will be sprayed with lead. It's a heavy weapon, but 3's to hit because of power of the machine spirit. And re-rolling 1s because Vulcan's shouting at them. And re-rolling any of the 2s because you're a salamander. Nice. I like that roll. 11 hits, strength 6, toughness 3, winning on 2s. And re-rolling 1s because the lieutenant is stood right next to you. And you don't need any re-rolls. Everything wounded. This is minus 1 AP. I have a 5-up save. And that is 1 dead because 1's on. That's another dead. And that's that squad wiped out. The rust stalkers have been shredded. And that's the end of the shooting phase. 2 units shredded. The Castellan robots taking a hell of a lot of firepower and only 1 standing. Now we go on to the charge phase. Terminators declaring a charge against the Castellan robot and the Tech Priest Dominus. Remember, he's got Assassinate in his hand. If he kills this thing, that's an extra point. So the robot, d6 shots with his Incendiing Combustor. That is 4. He will hit on... that's 4 shots. And he will wound on, because they auto hit. He'll wound on 3s. 3 wounds at minus 1. 1 damage each. So 3 3-up saves, because you're a Terminator. And you make them all. And then on to his. He has 3 shots with his macro stubber. No. So, Overwatch failing. How far are these Terminators going to get? Only 6 inches. Now that's very interesting because 6 inches is enough to get into close combat with the Castellan robots. You're 6 and a bit away, but not enough to get in range with him. So you can command point it and try and get in range of both. But if you roll a 1 or 2, you're not in the range of either of them. So you've got a 2/3 chance of passing and a 50-50 chance of improving. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking if at this point I'm going to have a chance of winning, I've got to take some risks. Honestly,
okay. The Emperor walks with you, my friend. What could possibly go wrong? I've said that twice now. Good luck.
Okay. It's going to fail, isn't it?
It's not going to fail. It's a 5.
There we go.
That's 8 inches. That's good. And this is how SorcererDave has placed the models, put in as many as he can within an inch of the Tech Priest Dominus, or within an inch of within an inch. And the captain, the toughness 6 captain with Might of Heroes, managed to get in at the Castellan robots as well. But the lieutenant failed his charge. Vulcan advanced, so he could not charge. And now we're on to the fight phase. Starting with the captain, he's got 4 attacks, plus 1 attack because he's a captain. You only roll 4 dice, you get another one. Because of Might of Heroes, sorry. So he normally hits on 2s. It's 3s with a Power Fist. You miss one of them. But you can't re-roll that because it's natural fails, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so 4 hits come smashing in. His strength 5 doubled to 10 because of Might of Heroes, so he's winning on 3s.
And also, oh no, that's toughness he gets, -2, isn't it? So
yeah,
never mind.
3s to wound, and you don't need to re-roll any of them. This is a Power Fist. It's -3 AP. So the Aegis Protocol, my invulnerable save only works against shooting attacks, so no invulnerable there, but it does improve the armor save from 3 to 2, just standard, not against shooting attacks. So it's -3. For a Power Fist, so I do have 5-up saves, and I make 2 of them, and so each of these does D3 damage, and that is a 3 and a, what's the other one?
It's cocked.
Was it? I'll give you a 3. It's definitely a 3.
Right, we're on the same again anyway.
5 damage on the robot. The robot has 1 wound left. Right, how are you going to split these attacks?
As much as possible on the priest, I think.
Okay, so 1 Haminator on the robot and the other 5 on the priest. Okay, so Haminator hitting the robot. He typically hits on 4s, it's unwieldy. He's hitting on, 3s down to 4s. And that's a 1 and a 4. You can re-roll the 1 because of the sergeant.
That's another 1.
It's another 1. Strength 8, wounds on a 3. And that's a wound. That's a wound, and it's -3. So I need a 5-up. And I don't make it, which means this robot is dead. Right, I spent a command point for Machines, Spirits, Revenge, so he will explode. He will detonate on purpose. It's only a 3-inch explosion, does not hit my Dominus, but it does D3 mortal wounds to every unit within 3 inches. So D3 back on the Haminator squads that hurt me, mortal wounds. It's only 1, and Haminators have 2 wounds each. But D3 mortal wounds on that captain. He may be toughness 6, but 2 bits of shrapnel go embedding into his leg, taking 2 wounds off of him. Now the remaining Terminators assaulting the Tech Priest Dominus. They have 2 attacks each. The Sergeant has 3, so that's 11 attacks coming in, hitting on 3s. And re-rolling 1s and then applying the modifier of -1. So re-roll that 1. And then it's 4s to hit after the modifier. So how many hits did you get in? Then with the Salamanders reroll, that was 7 hits. Strength 8, toughness 4, winning on 2s. And now you can use the Salamander. You don't need to use the Salamanders reroll again. So that's 7 wounds. He has a refractor field. I need to make 7 5-up invulnerable saves. Hammers do a flat 3 damage each, 5 wounds. Basically, if I fail 2, this is a dead Dominus. And I failed 2, that's a dead Dominus. I failed a lot more than 2 saves there, and then the Terminators, the assault squad, consolidate into this squad here. Now that means I can hit back, but they're Terminators, they don't have much to fear, and it will prevent this squad with a plasma caliber shooting them next turn. I hit back, and I managed to cause a wound, and SorcererDave rolled a 1, and one of them is on 1 wound left. So, yeah, a dead Terminator. Command point?
Yeah.
Don't roll another 1. Okay, not dead Terminator. And with that final blow, that's the end of Salamander's turn 2, and they've scored every single one of their objectives. They've got objective 3, they have advanced, and they have assassinated, taken out the second in command of the Penitent Forge. It is 5 points to 5. It's only turn 2, and this has been a brutal game. The Castellan robots are gone, multiple units of Vanguard are gone, the Ruststalkers are gone. In return, you've lost lots of tactical marines and one of your redeemers already. It has been a brutal game. And now I've got an untouched squad, pretty much untouched squad, of assault terminators right in front of D17 and my castle. I've got some units up at this side, a unit over on the other side, and infiltrators in reserve, and that's it. So the battle for installation 117 is a long way from over. Vulcan may retrieve this artifact yet. Let's move on to the Penitent Forge. Turn 3. Here are the Adeptus Mechanicus orders in turn 3. Will of the Omnissiah, basically roll for a Canticle of the Omnissiah rather than pick it, and I've rolled for one, so there's a point I've already achieved Will of the Omnissiah. Supremacy, take any 3 objectives for D3 points, and Witch Hunter, kill that Librarian. Here we are after the AdMech movement phase. A control 3 objectives, that will be Supremacy. There is one under there, you can just about see. One here and one there. So those are my 3 objectives, and that'll be D3 points, as well as that 1 point for achieving Will of the Omnissiah. And the other thing I need to do is kill the Witch. So the Infiltrators have dropped in 9 inches away from the Librarian, and he is the closest unit, so I can target that character. And then the castle has shifted. This central piece of terrain there with the horizontal pipe, if you get down to this level, you can see a fair amount of green. I can shoot that Land Raider. So 2 neutron lasers going into the Land Raider and all the other shots going into these Terminators. If these Terminators are gone and that Land Raider is gone, this will be a very different game. If I don't get rid of these Terminators and they start crashing through, if I don't get rid of that Land Raider, then it will be a very, very different game in terms of the Salamanders. There's a lot of Skitarii blood and oil spilling over this battlefield right now, so now the Penitent Forge need to push the Noble Astartes back. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Okay, I should mention my Canticle was reroll hit rolls of 1 and Shroud Psalm, and I'm opening up the shooting phase, spending 2 command points for Wrath of Mars, and the Infiltrators are firing their flechette blasters in at this Librarian. It's 25 shots, 5-shot pistol each. They're hitting on 3s, and they're rerolling 1s. And there's a lot of 1s. 5 1s. Here's the reroll. That was 19 hits coming in on this Librarian. These are strength 3, toughness 4, so I'm wounding on 5s. But with Wrath of Mars, any 6s cause mortal wounds in addition. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 6s. Those are 4 mortal wounds. The Librarian has fallen. That's Witch Hunter. Librarians only have 4 wounds, and that was 4 6s. New model syndrome, is said.
Yes.
Yes, so that was bound to happen if it was a new model. Right, Cognis Stubbers from this Onager crawler into the Terminators, and the neutron laser is going to fire down under the gantry there into that Land Raider. Let's do the neutron laser. D3 shots. 3 shots. Hitting on 3s. It's a heavy gun. He moved, but they have the crawler rule, which means they can move and fire heavy weapons without modifier. So 3s to hit with a reroll, because I'm right next to designate 17. That was 2 hits. Strength 10, toughness 8, 3s to wound. 2 wounds. -4, so 2 6-up saves on that Land Raider, sir. Both failing there. 2 d6 damage each. Did I just do 11 damage? Yeah, that was, that was 11 damage. The Land Raider goes bye-bye. Does it explode on a 6? It does explode.
Okay, well, I think...
You can command point that if you want to.
Possibly. Yeah.
Possibly.
Don't do it again. Oh, really did it again.
So you've got 3 command points left. I've got 2 command points left. Both Redeemers have now fallen. With the Land Raider falling, the Cognis shots hit the Terminators, did nothing. And then this second Onager Dune Crawler, Cognis and Stubbers, Cognis and Neutron Laser into the Terminators. Cognis did nothing. Now the Neutron Laser has 3 shots, hitting on 3s. Re-rolling. 2 hits on the Terminators, wounding on 2s. 2 wounds on the Terminators. They raise their Storm Shields at 3 up and vulnerable save. And stand firm. So far not able to hurt these Terminators at all. I'm going to have to fire the Iron Striders at them. They stood still on purpose, because if these moved, they would be hitting on 4s instead of 3s. So these are 3s to hit with the reroll. Both of them are in range of designate 17. All 4 hit. 3s to wound, strength 7, toughness 4. So that's 3 wounds at -1, sir. So 3 3-up saves. And did that one pass or fail?
It very much failed.
It failed. And that one had 1 wound left anyway, so he's gone. And now the second Iron Strider Ballistari firing in at these Terminators. I need to clear my lines. Only 1 so far. 3s to hit with the reroll. They all hit. 3s to wound, strength 7. 3 wounds at -1. So 3 3-up saves on the Terminators again. Any fail does 2 damage, will kill a Terminator. And you fail 1, that's a dead Terminator unless you command point it.
I think I will.
And they stand firm, taking so much firepower there from autocannons and neutron lasers and cognitive stubbers, and have only killed 1. This squad can't fire at them because they fell back. This squad now is going to have to fire at them. These 2 can't see, the other ones can. The arc rifle is not in rapid fire range. It hits on a, that's a hit, and it will wound on a 3. That's a wound. 3-up save, passes. Now 3 radium carbines. I am in 9-inch range of Designate 17 actually, so I do get the reroll here. And that's good, that was 8 hits. Strength 3, toughness 4, I need 5s. But I'm really looking for those 6s because that does 2 damage. And these ones only do 1 damage. So 2 2-up saves doing 1 damage each. And you take a wound, and 1 2-up save that does 2 damage, which will basically kill the other dude. No, so one of them takes a wound. And now I've got this unit to fire at them, and I think that's the rest of my gun. Arc rifle, arc pistol, Titan killer. 3s to hit. Everything hits. Strength 6, 3s to wound. 2 wounds at -1, 2 3-up saves. And you make them both. Radium carbines, 3s to hit. I'm re-rolling 1s because of the canticle. And 5s to, come back here you. 5s to wound. 1 and 1. So 1 2-up save does 1 damage.
It's a 2.
It's a 2 is fine, and 1 2-up save with 2 damage. And it's a 2, and I can't believe it. The amount of firepower. They've taken neutron lasers, auto cannons, radium carbines, arc rifles, everything firing in at them, and only dropping 1 Terminator. I think I said at the beginning of the turn I needed to get rid of the Redeemer and the Terminators to stand a chance, and it's not working. So the last thing left to fire is this unit here firing across the balcony at those that tactical squad there, and I've got a unit around here, a unit of Vanguard which will fire at that tactical squad down there. Then when the smoke clears, one of the Rangers takes out one of this tactical squad there, and the Vanguard over there cleared away the last 2 in that tactical squad there. And that's the end of my shooting phase. I'm certainly not assaulting some Hammonators up here. That's the end of my turn 3. I do get Witch Hunter, and I did get Will of the Omnissiah, and I will get D3 points for supremacy. Just 1. So 3 points this turn, making it 8 points to 5. No morale tests to take for the Salamanders, and now we need these Terminators to really pull their weight, because apart from these Terminators, all that's left for the Salamanders are a couple of tactical squads, Vulcan, Hestan, a captain, the lieutenant. I mean, do they go back for the infiltrators, or do they only push forward? And the Terminators can't just charge into these 2 squads here. They're going to have to clear away some of the Vanguard first. So the Salamanders are in a precarious position. There is only 3 points in it, and it is still only turn 3. Let's go on to the Salamanders' turn 3. The Salamanders' blood is up. They want to honour the chapter. Just kill a character. Kingslayer, kill the king, kill Designate 17, and no mercy, no respite. Kill something. Anything, just kill for those points. Here we are, after the movement phase. It's all very simple. The Terminators that have barreled through everything that stood in their path are coming around to take on the king, to take Kingslayer, to take Designate 17's head. But to get there, he's going to have to shoot his way through the squad of Vanguard that stood right in front. So there's the captain, there's the lone melter guy, there's the lieutenant, and over here there's a last squad of tactical marines who can also throw down some shots at this Vanguard. And this squad moving through the gantries. There are gaps in the gantry railings there for them to fire down as well. Everyone looking at shooting away this squad so the Terminators can charge in and work their magic. Except for Vulcan, who's turned around and going back for those infiltrators. They took out his librarian, and he is angry. and he's in flame range and in charge range. That could be painful. So let's move on to the shooting phase and see how much of this line the Salamanders can clear away. And when the smoke clears, multi-melter shots came in and dropped this thing down to 2 wounds remaining. And he cleared 5 out of 6 of the squad there. I don't have Incantation of the Iron Soul on me, so morale is going to be an issue. He's definitely cleared a charge lane. The only thing left to fire is Vulcan with his gauntlet of thingy-bob firing into the infiltrators. D6 shots. That's 5 shots. Strength 5, -1 AP, wounding on 3s, but using a stratagem called Flamecraft. So instead of wounding on 3s, you're wounding on 2s. And you're in range of yourself, so you're re-rolling that 1. Oh. So that's 4 wounds in the end. Shroud's Arm is in effect, so the -1 is negated. 4 up save. Ooh, and I failed 3 anyway. Infiltrators have 2 wounds, so 1 is dead and 1 drops a wound. That's the end of the shooting phase. Vulcan needs a 6-inch charge. We'll do the Overwatch in a second, but let's see if he manages to get in there. SorcererDave, roll a6. Oh yeah, he's angry. Right, let's do the Overwatch. No damage caused on Overwatch, and now we're over here with the Terminators declaring a charge against D17. Declaring a charge against both the Crawler and Call, and I've done the Overwatch, and everything missed, and we've measured up. You need a 7. Just over 7 inches away. So rolling up, it's a 6. You've got 1 command point left, and you can re-roll that point. 1. The last dandelion.
It's fate, right? It's fate. I'm not going to roll another 1.
No, it won't. It's going to be fine. 9. They are in. Then after piling, this is where the Salamanders end up, all within an inch of Call or within an inch of someone who's within an inch. But before the main event, we're going across the Vulcan here. He has 4 attacks. He hits on 2s. And he re-rolls because he's in range of himself. And the Spear of Vulcan, plus his Waller trait, he's strength 7, so he's going to be wounded on 2s. And it's -2 AP each one of these. Okay, so everything wounded. Everything hits. Everything wounds. I have 6 up bionic saves to make because that Spear of Vulcan does D3 damage a time. No bionic saved at all. So the first D3 will kill him, and then you've got another 3D3 to do. That kills another one, and again, and again, and last one. He wipes them all out in one sweep. What a legend, what a hero. And then Vulcan turns around and consolidates towards the closest enemy unit. That was easy for him. I took the Librarian down, but Vulcan, Lord of the Salamanders, just wipes out those infiltrators with ease. Right, now down to the main event, Hammonators versus Designate 17. We also remember the captain who's gone wheeling into that last Skitari there as well. But over here there are 11 attacks coming in. Okay, here we go, hitting on 4s. Well, 3s, and then there's no modifiers, so it's unwieldy. Hitting on 4s. Ooh, you got 8 wounds to get through. That was 6 out of 11 hits. Strength 8, toughness 6, wounding on 3s. Can you re-roll a hit and re-roll a wound in their fight phase as well?
Yeah, it's whenever they fight or shoot. So.
Do you want to re-roll one of those hits?
Yes,
let's do that.
It's the problem with Salamanders. You always forget this.
Okay, so that didn't work, but you can re-roll one of these wounds because it's 3 up to wound.
Oh,
and that didn't work either. So 4 get through. Now each of these does a flat 3 damage, so that's 12 damage there. Belisarius Call, aka Designate 17, has 8 wounds. I need to make 1 5-up to keep him alive. 2 5-ups to keep him alive. And I make 1, that's 9 damage. He will fall unless I command point it. I've got 2 command points left. Let's command point it. I need to keep him alive for the Omnissiah. Or not. He falls. And after Designate 17 falls, the Salamanders pile into that Onaga Dunecrawler there to prevent it from shooting them next turn. This Terminator was on 1 wound. He rolled a 1. I managed to take 1 out in sweet revenge. Then the captain just ran through that last Skitari in that squad and then consolidated into this squad here with GSO1. There he is, the Titan Killer, and put wounds back in on the captain. He saved them all. So that captain is now locked up with that squad. The Terminators are now locked up with the Onager Dunecrawler. I don't have any morale tests to make because everything you battered to death. And at the end of that turn, SorcererDave gets a point for no mercy, no respite. He gets a point for Kingslayer, taking out the enemy warlord, so it's 7 points to 8, and D3 points for achieving that tactical objective for Kingslayer as well. So how much you get? And you get 3. When I get the D3, I get 1, but you get 3. The Salamanders are in the lead. It's 10 points to 8 in favour of the Salamanders. The warlord of the Penitent Forge has fallen. Let's go on to turn 4. Here are the orders for the Penitent Forge. Defend 3, defend 4, and area denial. Make sure there are no enemies within 6 or 12 inches of the centre. I still mean to take installation 117. Here we are after the movement phase. Reroll hit rolls of 1 in the shooting phase, and Shroud's Arm is in effect for my canticles. I need reroll hit rolls of 1 in the shooting phase because all my HQs are dead. This Dunecrawler coming back over here, and I've decided to keep this Dunecrawler in assault with the Hammer Terminators. The reason for that is, if I pull back, then all they need to do is turn around and charge this squad of Skitarii and take objective 4, which I'm defending. I need to defend this for 2 turns. Well, my turn and the end of the enemy turn to get 2 points and make the game a draw. This way they have to, if they don't kill it, they can't just simply fall back. You can't fall back out of combat and assault. They have to kill him utterly and then turn around. Basically, I'm counting on the Onager Dunecrawler not dying to Thunderhammers in assault. Measuring up, they're just out of 6-inch range of that captain there, and the squad with GSO-1, the Titan Killer in it, have fallen back, and the 2 Iron Striders have pushed forward, so I will be hitting on 4s, but I had to push forward to make sure I was closer to the captain than the Terminators, because I need to kill that captain. So I'm not going to be able to do anything to the Terminators this turn, but I might be able to do some damage to the captain. They're securing objective 4, and meanwhile over here, the second squad, full squad of 6 there, are securing objective 3. I started to defend that one, but I'm going to need to pick on that tactical squad here. And lastly, the Dragoons, making their long charge all the way around, coming for Volcanistan. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Opening up the shooting phase, the Rangers fired across, did nothing. Now the Vanguard are going to try and fire up at that squad up there. And where the Rangers failed, the Vanguard succeeded, clearing away 3 of them, leaving just the Sergeant left. And now I'm going to neutron laser him in the face. D3 shots off the floor. D3 shots. Here's 2 shots, hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s. Only 1 hit, wounds on a 2. That's a wound at -4 AP. The Sergeant is dead. No armor save. I clear away that tactical squad. Coming down to this squad here. So, twin Cognis autocannon into that captain. He moved, so he is hitting on 4s. 3 hits. It's strength 7, toughness 6 because of the mantle thing. No wounds at all. Okay, so rinse and repeat. The second Iron Strider trying to take on the captain. Forced to hit. Everything missed. Oh no, re-rolling 1s because of the canticle. Everything missed. Everything missed. See what happens when Belisarius Call, aka Designate 17, the Dominus go. All the shots going wide. Right, the last thing left to fire is this squad here, who have been untouched all game, and they're now going to fire across here. This is quite important because I need to start defending objective 3. So the arc rifle is out of rapid fire range and it hits on a, not that, re-rolling 1s. It does hit, and strength 6 does wound, -1 AP at that tactical marine. And you save, skulls are saves, and now I've got 3 times 5 or 5 times 3 radium carbines, 15 shots coming in. Their assault 3 guns hitting on 3s, re-rolling those 3 1s. And that's not bad, that's 14 hits. This is strength 3 though, toughness 5. Toughness 4? What am I talking about? Toughness 5. I need 5s to wound. 6s cause 2 damage, but they're 1 wound model, so 3 up saves 7 times. And only 2 die. Right, that's the end of the shooting phase, and now we go on to the assault phase. Onager Dune Strider versus Terminators. 3 attacks with a Dreamcrawler, hitting on 5s. And I get 2 hits. Wounding on 3s. 1 wound. AP dash. And the Terminator takes a wound. But they're 2 wound models. They're not dead. And now you get to strike back with 9 attacks. 9 attacks, hitting on 4s. And you can reroll one of them because the Salamander chapter tactics.
Not coming through for me with these guys.
And then strength 8, toughness 7. So you're wounding on 3s. And you can reroll one of them as well. And that's only 2. So 2 5-up Mantis forceful saves. It works in shooting and close combat. And I make one of them, taking 3 damage, dropping it from 11 to 8 remaining. So that worked. You haven't killed it, so you can't fall back out of combat and assault that unit. And that's the end of turn 4 for the Penitent Forge, and I score no points. It's still 10 points to the Salamanders and 8 points to the Penitent Forge. But at the end of the Salamander's turn, I should get 2 extra points for this objective and 2 extra points for that objective, unless I can be knocked off of them. And the assets on the ground for the Salamanders are thin and far between. Essentially, there's 3 tactical marines remaining there. That's it. Oh yeah, there's 1 guy with a melter here. And then the rests are heroes. Vulcan, the lieutenant, this captain. Those are all the assets they have left on the ground to take installation 117. Let's go on to Salamanders. Turn 4. Here are the orders for the Salamanders, and they are good. Secure objective 2 and 3. And area denial. Make sure there's no enemy units within 6 inches of the centre for 1 point. And none within 12 for D3 points. And there are no admech within 12 inches of the centre. Here we are after the Salamander's movement phase. The captain, second in command, moving around. He's now got his bubble to affect the Hammonators here and try and take out one of these machines. And he's being followed up by the lieutenant there, who's also got a fist and who can also go wheeling in there as well. Determined to tear apart this castle with the captain-lieutenant combo and some Hammonators, leaving me some assets on the edge. But area denial. I have no units within 12 inches of the centre. That'll be D3 points. This last remaining hero, this melter guy, has come back to take objective 2. That's another point. And here is objective 3, which I've started to defend. This squad moving forward to shoot and try and assault them off of them. And as for Vulcan, he hears some Iron Striders rampaging towards his lines, and he's not afraid of them. He's coming across the back. He is in flamer range, and he fancies taking on 3 Dragoons. That's a single unit back there. That's going to be very interesting. Let's go on to the shooting phase. Vulcan flaming the Dragoons. He gets 6 hits. This is strength 5, toughness 6. It'll be 5s to wound, but he gets a reroll because he's Vulcan and he likes flames a lot. And that was 3 in the end. It's -1 AP. I have Shroud's Arm in effect, so this is 4-up saves. And I say 1. Next, this squad firing at the Vanguard over here. Multi-melter. 4s to hit because you moved, and 2s to wound, and you failed a wound. Are you re-rolling that?
I am.
You are. And it does wound. I have a 6-up bionic save, which I make. And now there's 4 rapid-fire bolt gun shots. 3s to hit. Re-rolling one of them, but you've already spent your dice to re-roll the wound. And now 3s to wound. And all of them wound. I had 3-up save because of Shroud's Arm. And 1 Skitarii dies, leaving 5 left. You're going to have to kill them with your fists. Coming over here, the lieutenant wants to charge these, but he's going to fire back over his shoulder first at the Vanguard squad there. He hits on a 3 with his bolt gun, and it misses, but he can reroll a hit, which he misses. And that's it for shooting, except for the plasma pistol on your captain. Captain, overcharging his plasma pistol because he's on 2 wounds left. If you pull it off, that's a dead Iron Strider. Hitting on a 2. He hits. His strength 8, toughness 6, wounding on a 2. And that's a wound. I have a 5-up bionic save, or this Iron Strider goes bye-bye. He goes bye-bye. You kill the Iron Strider. Does it blow up? It does blow up. When they explode, they do 1 mortal wound to everything within 3 inches. So the captain takes a bit of shrapnel. Again, he's down to 2 wounds left. 1 of the Vanguard died. And the onager drops down to 7 wounds remaining. That's it for the shooting phase. Now we're on to the charge phase. Right, the captain declaring a charge into the Iron Strider. 4 shots, a hit once, a wounded once. He's on 2 wounds left. You need to make a 3-up because it's AP -1. Or a 4-up, sorry, because you've got 3-up save. -1 is 4-up.
Yep.
Or he's dead because it does do 2 wounds. So 4-up on the captain. And he makes a 4. He gets in there. Rolling 8 for the charge. He is definitely in. Now the lieutenant is charging these Vanguard. Failed to hit or wound with Overwatch. Now charging in. How far do you go? 5? Are you 6 away? Yeah, 5.5 inches away. He definitely gets in there. And finally, this tactical squad wants to stop this unit of Vanguard from defending that objective. Overwatch first. No damage course on Overwatch. They need an 8-inch charge, though, to get in there. And that's an 11. They are angry. Right, we'll do this fight first because I've only got 2 command points left, so I can't pay to interrupt. So 4 attacks coming in because the sergeant has +1 and their Space Marines, they hit on 3s. And you can re-roll one of them. So that is 3 hits. And they wound on 3. Strength 4, toughness 3. And 3 wounds. Shroud Armor only works in the shooting phase, so I need my 4-ups. And I make all of them. Now we're on to one of these assaults. Lieutenant has 3 attacks, typically hitting on 2s, but he's got a fist, so he's hitting on 3s. And he can re-roll 1 dice because he's a salamander. And they all hit. Strength 8, winning on 2s. Re-rolling 1s because he's in range of himself. All 3 attacks hit and wound. 6-up bionic saves. And he takes down 3 Skitari with ease. And it looks like this, just the Alpha and GSO-1 left. Now we have this captain hitting the Iron Strider. 4 attacks. 3s to hit. Re-rolling 1s. Oh no, just 2 hits in the end. And strength 8, winning on 3s. They both wound. It's -3 because it's a fist. So I get my 6-up bionic save. And then fail both of them. This is D3 damage each, so 2d3 damage.
Oh.
You take it out. Does it blow up on a 6? No, it does not.
Nearly.
And it's all crumbling in the Admech back lines. Now we have 9 attacks because the sergeant's got an extra 1 in at the onager. Hitting on 4s and they're re-rolling 1s because they're in range of the captain. And you can re-roll a 3 because you're a salamander or a 2.
Yeah. There we go.
Fruity. Strength 8, toughness 7, winning on 3s. And re-rolling 1s because they're right in range of the lieutenant, but that doesn't... They all get through, and each of these does a flat 3 damage. A Mantis force field save. I have 7 wounds left. 3, 6, 9, that's like 18 damage. You definitely get rid of it. I've got 1 command point left. I'm going to detonate on purpose. For designate 17, for spite, for revenge, D3 wounds on the Terminators. 1 wound. So, yeah, one of them isn't on 1 wound yet. It only takes a wound. On the lieutenant, who is in range, 3 wounds. Lieutenants have 4. He's got 1 wound left. But more importantly, this captain, who is beginning to annoy me, has got 2 wounds left. So, let's see if the explosion... Because he's been hit by shrapnel again and again. I think those are the only times he's been wounded. Over there by a robot. Over here. The only time he's been wounded is not ducking and covering when bits of robot blow up around him. Let's see if he can duck this one. No, he can't, because that is 2 damage, and the captain gets taken out. Oh, and we just remembered 1 more charge. We'll do it now. Vulcan is a 7-inch charge away. Let's see if you can roll up. I know it's out of sequence, guys, but that's a 6. And checking, double checking that he does get in there. Scratch that. Vulcan is in. The dice god said yes. Let's resolve this combat.
The dice god said probably.
Probably. The dice god said probably. He is in. So, 4 attacks, hits on 2s. We know it's a bit out of sequence, but you definitely did this. Okay.
You've got to edit it in later, so nobody knows.
No one will notice. Okay, 2s to hit. And no need to re-roll. He's strength 7 because of his warlord trait. These are toughness 6, so you're wounding on 3s. And you get to reroll one of them because you're a salamander.
And
2 wounds caused, rerolling 1 wound because of the salamander. So 2 get through, 2 6-up saves, which I fail both. And this does 2d3 damage. Let's see what you get. And that's 4 damage, taking this dragoon down to 1 wound left. Then the dragoons pile in. These 2 are within an inch of a model that's within an inch. They have 3 attacks each and they hit on 3s. And with their taser lances, any 6s count as 3 hits. So I'll put those 2 back in there. This is strength plus 3, gets them up to strength 8, minus 1 AP, and each one does 2 damage. So 2s to wound, minus 1 AP. So you need that many 3-up saves. And every fail is 2 damage, sir. Vulcan could be in trouble.
He's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, no, fail. That's 10 damage. That's Warlord kill. What have you done, SorcererDave? What have you done? I told you not to charge him in. They haven't got any shooty. They're close combat-y. Why?
I don't know. I mean, I wanted to keep you away from the middle.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I was really looking forward to shouting Vulcan lives after I passed all the saves, and now I can't, so I'm a bit...
Vulcan lives. Oh, well, no, Vulcan does not live. And that's the other Salamander's turn 4. Meanwhile, around here, one of the Skitari managed to take out one of the Salamanders here. So I'm still controlling that objective. I outnumber the number of Salamanders within 3 of that objective there. So at the end of that turn, I get 2 points for this one, and 2 points for that one, and 1 for Warlord kill. That gets it 13 to 10 in favour of the Admech. Now you've got objective 2, so that's 13 to 11. And you get D3 points for area denial. So let's roll up and see what you get. 1.
Yeah.
It's 12 points to 13 in favour of the Penitent Forge. If you hadn't lost Vulcan, it would have been 12 to 12, but it's 1 point in it for the Penitent Forge as we head towards the endgame, turn 5. Here are the Admech orders in turn 5. Still got area denial in my hand and I need to defend objective 5. Psychological warfare, make the Salamanders run away. There's 1 point in it. Here we are after the Admech movement phase. I've got Shroud Psalm again and reroll Morale, Incantation of the Iron Soul, and looking across the battle grid, there's so few units left. I've got 3 things here and I am defending objective 5 with these Rangers that got up here right at the very start of the game. The Vanguard are falling back again away from those Hamanators that absolutely will not die. The Onager Dunecrawler is staring at them as well. And Titan Killer GSO1 has got down off those crates along with his Alpha and means to end that Lieutenant there. Just for spite, just because Designate 17 got wiped out. That should be 2 points if I hold on to objective 5. The Dragoons running around this way. I need area denial. I need to clear the centre of installation 117. And that's a 6-inch charge against that Melter guy stood down there. If I kill him, I get D3 points. I should be able to secure this game because the Salamanders have 1 tactical squad. That 1 Melter guy in the middle and these models here. So few assets left. This civil war of Imperium versus Imperium has been brutal. Right, these 2 models firing in at that Lieutenant, a arc rifle and an arc pistol, 3s to hit. They all hit. Strength 6, wounds on 3s. 2 wounds at -1, 2 4-up saves. He has got 1 wound left because of the shrapnel that hit him last turn. And the Lieutenant gets taken out. I'm going to say that both of those shots came from GSO1, the Titan Killer. Sorry, what's that?
His kill streak continues.
His kill streak continues. Titans and now Lieutenants. Right, now these Terminators are going to attract an awful lot of firepower. Vanguard, Rangers, Onager Dunecrawlers, oh my. Radiation rounds, Cognis rounds, and a neutron laser blasts into the ground here, and when the smoke clears, only the Sergeant is left alive. And that is the end of the shooting phase, staying locked up in combat there. There was no point in pulling back because I'd have just got melted and shot at and charged again. So staying in combat there. Meanwhile, we're now in the charge phase. These Dragoons need to take out this last hero and claim the center of installation 117. Do you want to overwatch with that melt gun hitting on a 6? Please don't hit, please don't hit, please don't hit. He doesn't hit. I need to get a 6. I have no command points left. That's a 7. And they make it into combat. And they hit on 3s. And any 6s, such as that one, count as 3 hits because of the taser rule. They are strength 8, wounding on 2s. That's that many wounds. 8 4-up saves. And he finally falls. Then after that combat, down here the Skitarii take out one of the Salamanders, and the Salamander fails to take out one of the Vanguard in return. And that's the end of Adeptus Mechanicus, turn 5. I did kill 3 Salamanders here, but they are leadership 9, so even if we rolled a 6, they will hold. That's the end of turn 5, and as we look across the battle grid, all the Salamanders have left is one lone hero, veteran sergeant with a thunderhammer, and 1 tactical marine left here. That's it. The Adeptus Mechanicus have started defending objective 5, and they get D3 points for area denial. That's 2 more points. And with those 2 additional points, it's 15 points to 12, because I was on 13, plus 2 for area denial, 15 points to 12. At the end of turn 5 for the Adeptus Mechanicus, and the Salamanders have called it. They are 3 points behind. We took a look at the cards. There is no way back for them with 1 sergeant and 1 tactical marine, and that's it. So the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Penitent Forge, take installation 117, and this is the way the world ends. It was heroic stuff by the Salamanders. They pushed right through the center, and those Terminators could not be stopped whatsoever. Vulcan had his bloodlust up and went charging into some Dragoons. Maybe not the smartest move, but I would have certainly done that as well. With your Warlord hanging around the backfield and with a unit coming charging down towards you, I would have just turned around and smashed. I think in the end, I've got an AST 1 unit up this end, which is kind of hanging in there. I've got the Titan Killer GSO1 himself left alive. The Dragoons didn't have much of an impact, but I found that they die very quickly by skirting them around and using their mobility to get to objectives where they need to helped. I've got very few little assets left up here. Honestly, I'm finding it difficult what to say, really. It was a brutal, painful game. I hoped to have stopped the charge up through the center, but looking at my dead pile is absolutely spectacular. I bought like 50 plus troops on the ground. I've got very few left. And looking at the Salamander's dead pile, they've got very few left as well. They've got 2 left on the table. I didn't know it would be such a surefire thing in the end. There were times when I was tearing chunks out of SorcererDave and times when he was tearing chunks out of me. But this is the way the world ends sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't go with a bang, but it goes with a whimper. So thank you very much, Mr. SorcererDave, coming all the way down. Check out SorcererDave YouTube channel and on Twitch. And thank you for being a patron. Patrons are awesome. This channel would not exist if it wasn't for my patrons. Thank you to foregrounduk.co.uk. There'll be links in the credits below on where to get this terrain from. And thank you to Urban Mats for this wonderful battle map. This is one of my favorite ones. It's kind of like a blank canvas. You can do pretty much anything on it. Anyway, and thank you everyone for watching and listening and playing along in the background and painting along in the background. Happy wargaming.